Hi, hello, mabuhay. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, especially to you, Ma'am Regine. By the way, I'm Shaina P. Sagid from Bscrim 1 Charlie, and today we will be presenting environmental art. But first of all, what is environmental art? It is an art that examines and improves our relationship with the nature, examines nature and its process, or educates us about environmental problems. Artworks affected or powered by wind, water, lightning, even earthquakes, reinventions our relationship to nature, proposing new ways for us to coexist with our environment, reclaims damaged environments, restoring ecosystems in artistic and often aesthetic ways. Now, when did it originate? Around 1960s and 1970s, a group of artists in the United States and Europe began to experiment with sculpting the earth and creating sculptures with natural materials. The materials that was used was sticks, rocks, leaves, bark, water seeds, grass, sand, and seed pods. Now, photography and environmental art. Because environmental art is often made to disappear or transform over time, or designed for a particular place, photography is the primary way to permanently capture environmental art. For instance, is our City Hall, our Fourth Pillar Shrine, and our museum. Oh, and let us not forget about the McDo.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Trisha Pauline S. Salazar, and my topic is about historical connections. In 1968, the first photo of the Earth made people realize the smallness of our world and the vastness of the universe. In 1970, the U.S. celebrated the first Earth Day. Congress created the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA. It was created by the President Richard Nixon. EPA fixed national guidelines and to monitor the enforcement. The Environmental Protection Agency also protects people and the environment from significant health risks. The anti-nuclear weapon groups also help spur greater respect for the environment, which is not very effective. The US only has limited ability to destroy an incoming nuclear intercontinental ballistic missile. A study released last month by the American Physical Society concluded. Here are the artists whose art movement is all about environmental art. Number 1 is Robert Smithson. One of his main themes was entropy. Number 2 is Nancy Holt. She's an environmental artist who creates earthworks. Number 3 is Walter de Maria. He creates an art that allows the viewer to physically and emotionally connect to nature. And the last one is Andy Goldsworthy. He creates an art that is meant to change and decay over time. This will be discussed by the next reporter. Thank you.
Robert Smithson, born on 1938 to 1973. He's an American, and one of his main themes was entropy. Entropy is a condition that is moving towards a gradual equilibrium, explored the balance of opposites. Nature, culture, space, time, monument, anti-monument, site, non-site is the kind of art he made. And the example of this is Spiral Jetty. Spiral Jetty is an earthwork sculpture constructed in April 1970 that is considered to be the most important work of an American sculptor, Robert Smithson. Nancy Holt. Nancy Holt was born on 1938. She is an American. She is a filmmaker, photographer, environmental artist that creates earthwork just like Robert Smithson. The kind of earthwork that Nancy Holt do is just like in the photo. Literary seeing device fixed points for tracking the position of the sun, earth, and stars. She uses tunnels. The concrete tunnels provided shade, creating shelter from which to watch the sun transform into landscape.
Walter de Maria, 1935, American blind artist, creates art that allows the viewer to physically and emotionally connect to the nature. His art asks the viewer to think about the relationship between art and the universe. The name of the artwork is The Lightning Field, 1977, consisted of about 400 stainless steel poles that have been placed in 1 mile by kilometer grid. Andy Goldsworthy, 1956, British, the founder of modern rock band, creates art that meant to change the day over time, which we document through photography. The name of the artwork is Squid, 1998, made by using sticks and thorns.
Link to environmentalism. Environmentalists are concerned with issues such as pollutions, preserving the natural habitat of animals, global warming, disease, endangered species, and technologies that are harmful to the environment, which means they perform actions outside of our lifestyle choices to promote preserving or enhancing the environment. They are the ones who contribute towards our very own environmental goals or work that further environmental efforts towards conservation of natural resources. Not all environmental art is environmentally friendly or carries an environmentalist message. Not all works in this category are lasting or even good for the environment. It's true that visual arts do not always produce the prettiest of pictures. Some are lashing off toxic pigments, some chemicals that are ecologically destructive. Like what I've said, some environmental works actually harm the surrounding environment or hurt the habitat of the native animals, plants, and other organisms. Let's move forward to eco art. It is a contemporary form of environmental art simply because it holds artistic practices encompassing both historical approaches to nature and in art and more recent ecological types of works. Eco artists strive to improve the environment or make others aware of environmental concerns through their work and try to use sustainable or recycled materials in their work, which means that they produce artistic practices that seeks preservation of all the life forms, resources, and ecology of the earth. That will be the sum up of my topic. And thank you for listening.